Just toss anything you don't want into this automatic exchange machine, and it'll spit out cash based on its equivalent value. Using this gadget to recycle stuff means you won't lose a single penny. And Nobita just happened to have something he desperately needed to turn into cash immediately. Turns out he'd just run an errand for his mom. It was so hot, and his brain got foggy he actually used the grocery money to buy a drink. By the time he realized what he'd done, the drink was non-refundable. He had no choice but to sneak back home and figure something out. Luckily, he ran into Doraemon, who immediately pulled out this magical gadget. He tossed the drink in, and it turned back into cash. Nobita successfully completed his task and made it home safely. The moment he got home, he rushed to the bookshelf and picked out an old manga he was sick of reading. But this ancient manga was only worth 10 yen. Nobita had no choice but to keep dragging over old books and comics to exchange. After scraping together 500 yen, he immediately ran to the bookstore to buy a new manga. Back home, Nobita suddenly had a brilliant idea. He made Doraemon wash his hands first, then carefully wrapped the manga in a protective cover, terrified of getting even a tiny smudge on it. After reading it, he tossed the manga into the exchange machine and sure enough, he got back the full 500 yen. He was beyond excited. If he just kept repeating this method endlessly, he could achieve manga freedom. Nobita was only this clever at times like these. On his way to buy the second manga, he ran into John and Sunio. The three of them fought over the manga, and it fell into the sewer. John and Sunio dusted themselves off and left. Just as Nobita fished the manga out, Shizuka ran over asking for the book she'd lent him a few days ago. Nobita suddenly realized, oh no, he might have already tossed that book into the exchange machine. Shizuka said that book was really important to her, he had to return it. Nobita could only agree reluctantly. When he got home, he tried to take the machine apart to find the book, but Doraemon stopped him. Of course you can redeem items from this gadget, but it costs 10 times the original price. Nobita froze instantly. Shizuka's book had been exchanged for 360 yen, which meant he'd need 3,600 yen to get it back. He quickly threw the manga that had fallen in the sewer into the exchange machine. It was only worth 1 yen. He frantically threw in book after book, but they only added up to a few dozen yen, nowhere near enough. Doraemon checked the time, forget about not having enough money. The redemption window only had 1 hour left. Once that passed, it would be gone forever. Nobita emptied his entire bookshelf, but it still wasn't nearly enough. With only 10 minutes left, he collapsed on the floor crying. Doraemon frantically searched for other things. Just then, his mom was sorting through old newspapers and magazines she was about to throw out. The two of them madly threw everything into the machine. Coins came clattering out. Only 1 minute remained. Doraemon turned around and Nobita was reading a beauty magazine. He rushed over, snatched the magazine away, and threw it straight into the exchange machine. It came out to 10,013 yen. Now not only could they redeem Shizuka's book, they'd even made a huge profit in allowance money. That evening, Dad was rummaging through the cabinet with a confused look on his face. Mom asked what he was looking for. He quickly acted like nothing was wrong and walked away. But when he reached the living room, his brow furrowed even deeper. Meanwhile, Nobita was still wondering why that magazine was worth so much money. And Dad had only one question on his mind: where did that magazine with his 10,000 yen emergency stash hidden inside go?